Kanye West is undoubtedly one of the most polarizing figures in the world today. Almost everyone seems to have an opinion on the man, and it's easy to see why. Since he burst onto the music scene with his 2003 song Through the Wire, Kanye has unapologetically pursued life on his terms. He's brash, cocky, and outspoken. West himself has admitted he's an asshole. So why do we pay attention to him? Why don't we just ignore him like any other talking head? It's simple. Kanye West is the most influential artist of the 21st century, as displayed through his emotional vulnerability and use of the human voice in hip-hop music, as well as his ventures in the fashion industry. In looking at West's musical discography, I really want to focus on his 2008 album, 808s and Heartbreak. Before the release of the album, his mother died in a cosmetic surgery procedure, and he and his fiancée, Alexis Pfeiffer, broke up. West scrapped the initial album he was working on, Good Ass Job, which would have continued the student timeline narrative of the college dropout, late registration, and then graduation. Instead, he began vigorously working on 808s and Heartbreak. The themes on the album are extremely evident and quite unlike anything previously released by West, or other hip-hop artists at the time. Just a year after the braggadocious Can't Tell Me Nothing and Good Life were released, Kanye shocked the world by spilling his heart via singing. Brian Kaler said the music is, quote, fairly atypical for West, as he moved away from his rhyming style and made himself potentially vulnerable by singing about a painful heartbreak. On Welcome to Heartbreak, he sings, chased the good life my whole life long, look back on my life and my life gone. Later in the album, on Coldest Winter, he sings, quote, memories made in the coldest winter, goodbye my friend, will I ever love again? It's 4 a.m. and I can't sleep, it's 4 a.m. and I can't sleep. Her love is all that I can see, her love is all that I can see. A stark contrast from the egotistical Kanye we had seen in his previous work. In addition, black men like Kanye are often discouraged from discussing the way they feel about the things they experience in the world, including, quote, feelings of nothingness and a strong fear of vulnerability, as discussed in, quote, The Myth of Black Macho, a response to angry black feminists. Furthermore, Kanye has demonstrated greater vulnerability by singing nearly the entire album, while at the time being known as one of the world's most popular rap artists. Up until that point, melody had very much took a backseat to rhyme in mainstream hip-hop and rap. However, West said in an interview before the release of 808s, quote, I'm about to express myself with melody, and have it be a fine line where you don't know if it's rapping or singing or what it is. According to Greg Witt of Genius News, people close to West advised him to release the album under a different name because of how much of a risk the album was taking. Kanye's response? If people have a major problem with auto-tune or me singing or me getting my ideas out, then that's too bad. 12 years after the release of 808s, singing and emotional vulnerability have become the mainstream. Drake, Post Malone, Lil Uzi Vert, Young Thug, Roddy Ricch. These artists dominate the top of not only the hip-hop charts, but Billboard Top 40 charts, following the same template of melodically driven sing-rapping. Drake's producer 40, who has produced all of Drake's album, said of the album 808s, quote, that shit was so impactful to hear. Him spilling his heart out over that kind of production. I was like, yo, F it, that shit's crazy, and I ran with that sound. It's not all too surprising then that Drake covered 808's opening track, Say You Will, on his own debut mixtape. According to Pitchfork, The Weeknd credited 808s and Heartbreak as his spiritual guide when creating his smash hit, I Can't Feel My Face, calling Kanye's album, quote, one of the most important bodies of work of my generation. The late Juice WRLD cites 808s and Heartbreaks as his favorite album of all time. The influence is present not only in the singing over hip-hop beats, but in his lyrics. Juice's hit breakup song Lucid Dreams includes lyrics, quote, you found another one, but I am the better one, I won't let you forget me. Feeling bitter and superior to his ex after the breakup, these lyrics closely mirror those on Kanye's hit breakup song Heartless, in which he sings, quote, wait a couple months, then you go and see, you'll never find nobody better than me. Additionally, it's significant to look at Kanye's use of the voice. Kanye West is known for using the human voice as an instrument in its own right. Jesus Walks, his first real hit single after Through the Wire, features instrumentation that's essentially a cappella, with the female oohs carrying out the top end in the bum, 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 working as a bass line to fill out the low end of the song. On Good Life, featuring T-Pain from his 2007 album Graduation, what sounds like a high synth in the intro is actually just extremely pitched up vocals, according to Genius News. But perhaps most notable is West's use of auto-tune and a vocoder on 808s and Heartbreak. At the time 808s was released, auto-tune was looked at as more of a crutch than a tool, something you used if you didn't really have the talent to sing naturally. West turned this around and used auto-tune stylistically as a way to enhance the aesthetic of his tracks, and it worked beautifully. Now almost every rapper uses auto-tune on their songs, even if not as forthright and obvious as West was doing in 2008. Perhaps most notable is Travis Scott, who, according to Vox, has taken inspiration from Kanye's use of a vocoder with auto-tune to create a new distorted digital vocal style. This style was first featured on Kanye's song Runaway from his album My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. As Sean Cullen puts it, quote, "When West's voice deteriorates into unintelligible noise through thick layers of digital distortion at the end of Runaway, both on record and in performance, it mutates into a new instrument. No longer the expression of linguistic sensibility, the voice transforms into pure sound. West's voice has reshaped the alienating, digitized space of modern experience into one that is at least momentarily navigable through allegory at the level of imagination, like a dream." West continues throughout his discography to feature the voice as an instrumental element in his songs, such as Bound 2, Fade, and Wolves. The influence of this is present today on some of the biggest hip-hop hits in the world, such as the Ooze sample that carries Travis Scott's hit Highest in the Room, or Roddy Ricch's simple but all too recognizable Eat-er that drives his smash single, The Box. Lastly, Kanye has made himself an extreme influence in the fashion world. He began by designing sneakers with Nike in 2009, releasing the Air Yeezy 1 and 2. According to Business of Fashion, the Nike Air Yeezy 1 and 2 collaboration had, quote, "the biggest impact on sneaker culture in the last decade." After a breakup with Nike, his signing and collaborations with Adidas set off the trend of musical artists signing with athletic brands, such as Ray Shremmerd signing with Reebok, A$AP Rocky signing with Under Armour, and Rihanna creating her Fenty line for Puma. He was also one of the first musical artists to offer concert and album merchandise that was part of a larger clothing line as a whole, rather than one-off items, with his creation of the Yeezy line. Tyler, the Creator, has followed suit by developing his own fashion brand, Golfwang, and offering items at concerts as part of album bundles and tour merchandise. So whether you love him or hate him, Kanye West has an undeniable influence on not only hip-hop, but pop culture as a whole. He consistently moves music forward with his ambition, innovation, and creativity. Music as we know it today doesn't exist without him, and as more time passes, we will continue to see the extreme influence of his art. Thank you.